Okay, good morning. It's October the 1st. It's 9 a.m. I will call the order of the meeting of the Saline County Board of Commissioners. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Shadwick? Commissioner Vidrickson?
Here.
Commissioner Sparks?
Here.
Commissioner Weiss?
Here.
Commissioner Hay?
Here. Please, if you are able to stand, join me in the flag salute, followed by a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, we will move into our citizens input portion of the meeting where citizens may speak on county government, usually limited to 3 minutes and pertaining to items that will not be discussed on today's agenda. Are there any members of the public who wish to address the commission? Will you please state your name?
Rosemary Mai, Salina, Kansas. Wanted to let you, the commissioners and the citizens know that the Granny Brigade is hosting a town hall meeting with Senator Roger Marshall on Tuesday, October the 15th at 6 p.m. at the Knights of Columbus Hall, 115 North 10th Street. And we are asking for reservations by the 11th of October because there will be food provided by the American for Prosperities. And they can call or text 785-577-5918 or 785-819-1368, and the public is invited. Thank you.
Thank you.
Norman Mantelslana. Did anyone from the county attend the water conference at the KHP Center 2 weeks ago recently? I seen no one from the county. The water issues. It was at the Highway Patrol Training Center right out here in your back door. Nobody was there. We're running out of water. There was a good discussion. I was in there for 2.5 hours. Now, why can't you guys be there?
Thank you, Norm. Anyone else? Okay, at this time, we'll move into our consent agenda, which is comprised of the approval of tax roll adjustments, the approval of accounts payable, approval of payroll, approval of public forum agenda, approval of the county commission meetings for September the 17th, approval of the health plan amendment, approval of the dental plan amendment, the approval of the HCC stop loss renewal application, approval of the health plan agreement with Stealth Partners, approval of the 2025 amendment to the 2026 work agreement, approval of the UMR Administrative Services Amendment for 10/1 of 2024, approval of the addenda to the extended time for USD 305 ARPA, approval of County Commission minutes for September the 24th, approval of the annual WIC grant contract for fiscal year of 2025 and authorize the Health Department and Director to digitally sign the contract. The annual WIC contract goes in effect on October 1st. A contract will be reviewed and cleared by the County Council on September the 25th, or was cleared. Are there any items that any commissioner would like to have removed? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Move we accept the consent agenda as given.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the consent agenda and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Same sign. Passes 4-0. Okay, that will move us into the next item.
Executive session.
Mr. Chairman, staff would request that the commission recess into executive session under the attorney-client privilege exception to the Kansas Open Meetings Act to discuss a matter of potential litigation for a period of 10 minutes, reconvening in this room at 9:15.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor, say aye.
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 That proves the floor up, and we are in executive session. Okay, we're back in session and no action was taken, so that will move us on into our next agenda items, action items.
Domestic Violence Awareness Month Proclamation with Mary Cookson, the victim advocate.
Good morning.
Good morning.
As you said, I'm Mary Cookson. I'm the victim advocate from DVAC, and we would just like to present the county proclamation this morning. Whereas domestic violence is a widespread preventable public health problem impacting all demographics of Kansas, including Saline County, and whereas relationships are often counted as life's greatest treasures, and tragically many are tarnished by one's person's feelings of entitlement to power and control over the other, resulting in violence and fear. Whereas domestic violence abusers violate an individual's privacy, dignity, security, and humanity with their intentional, systematic use of financial, psychological, sexual, and physical control and abuse. Whereas the U.S. Department of Justice reports domestic violence homicides comprise 14% of all homicides in the U.S., and that women are more than twice as likely as men to be killed by an intimate partner. The Kansas Bureau of Investigation reports 32 domestic homicides were 18.5% of all homicides in Kansas in 2021, and whereas in Kansas in 2021, a domestic violence abuser murdered another person every 1 day, 9 hours, 45 minutes, and 4 seconds. A domestic violence abuser committed a violent act reported to law enforcement every 23 minutes, 16 seconds. And law enforcement made an arrest due to domestic violence every 47 minutes, 22 seconds. And whereas DVAC served 959 victims within our 10 counties, 487 of which were from Saline County, and yet these numbers do not accurately reflect the total number of domestic violence victims, as many were continuing to struggle against isolation and other impacts of COVID-19. Whereas we as gathering body of Salina recognize this violence is inconsistent with our city's values and cannot be ignored, excused, or tolerated. And whereas in declaring this month of October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month, we encourage all citizens to know the facts about domestic violence, to familiarize themselves with resources, to recognize subtle signs of control tactics, to act as safe support systems, to speak up against perpetrators of violence and any messages that inadvertently condone domestic violence, to get involved, to teach others, and prepare future generations for healthy relationships, and to donate time and resources to their local domestic violence agency.
So, number one, thank you guys for everything you guys do in Salina and Saline County. We really do appreciate that. Have you got any thing planned for the month of October?
We do our safe shelter is pet friendly. And so we do a pet costume competition during the month of October for cats and dogs. And so there's 3 categories. There's Best Costume, Purple Pride, and Crowd Favorite. And so I can leave this flyer, but anybody that would want to participate would simply get a costume for their cat or their dog, put it on their pet, and then they would be able to scan the QR code at the bottom. It will pull up an entry form, and then you just attach the picture to it, and then you could submit it. We'll be taking applications from the 1st, which had opened today, until the 28th. And then what we do is we take those applications and those pictures, we print them off, and then we take them over to our safe shelter, which is at an undisclosed location. We allow our survivors to be a part of this, and then what they do is they vote on one of the categories, and then we get the winner for that category, and then we pull the remaining, and then we allow our advocates to remain on the remaining 2 categories, and then we will announce those by the 31st. We're also doing a window display at the public library. We're doing a display outside the library in Ellsworth. We're doing another one in Dickinson County. We're doing a book read at the Red Fern on the 24th. We're doing a candlelight vigil, joined candlelight vigil between K-State and Kansas Wesleyan.
Sound like a full schedule.
Yes.
Any more comments from the commissioners? Any public comment? Okay, I'll bring us back to the commission for action.
I move we approve RFA 2024-134 as presented. No, oh, that's the wrong one. I flipped the page. Sorry about that. Yeah, that we proclaim October 2024 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Yes.
Second
excuse
the
me.
motion.
We have a motion and a second to approve October 2024 as Domestic Violence Month. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. That passes 4-0. If you'd like to step forward, I've got a signed proclamation for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Purchase, replacement of 3 vehicles for the sheriff's office with Roger Sheldon, sheriff's.
Sorry about that, Jamie. The pitch hitter today. Commissioners, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
We're seeking approval to replace 3 patrol vehicles for the sheriff's office. We worked with the county administrator's office to put out bids to replace 3 of the marked patrol cars that we use. Those 3 vehicles are range in age from 2017 to 2022, and they're all expected to be in excess of 125,000 miles at the time that they'd be traded in. We did get 4 bids back, which is kind of a good sign because we've struggled to even get one back here in the past. We had 2 of the local dealers came in. They were actually the lowest 2 bids. Marshall Motors in Saline came in with a bid of $165,418.66, including the trade-in vehicles. Long MacArthur of Saline came in with a low bid of $164,642.23 with trade vehicles. We are asking for approval to purchase the vehicles from Long MacArthur at a cost of $164,642.23. They said they expect a delivery between 4 and 5 months out, and then we'd another month and a half waiting for them to upfit those vehicles. We did budget $180,000 in the 2025 EIP account for our vehicles, or requested that amount. As of this date, we haven't specified any of that money to be spent yet, so it should leave a balance of $15,357.77 should this approval be approved. Any
Quick
questions?
question, Sheriff. The 164,642, that's turnkey. That puts the vehicle on the road?
Yes, that's includes stripping all the vehicles out, the 3 vehicles, stripping all the equipment out, upfitting the new ones, and striping and everything.
Thank you.
And the 3 that are being traded in, are they the Ford or Dodges?
I know at least the 2017's a Ford.
Okay.
I'm not aware of what the other 2 are.
Okay.
We've got a mix of Durangos and Explorers. These would be the Explorers.
Okay, yep, okay. Thank you.
That caught my ear there, Roger. You have a 2017 vehicle being traded in,
Yes.
and it's only got 125,000 miles on it, and it's a patrol vehicle in 7 years. That's not very many miles a year.
That vehicle began its life as an investigator's car. So we did upfit. We marked that vehicle later to get the miles on it because at a certain age the trade value is completely gone. So rather than keep it for 15 years as an investigator's car, we upfitted it so we could get it out because old vehicles have trouble.
Okay, any other questions? Any public comment? Okay, I'll bring it back to Commissioner for action, please.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve RFA 2024-134 as presented.
Second the motion.
I have a motion and second to approve RFA 2024-134 as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That passes 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Helm firework display, October 3rd through the 5th, with Alyssa Sanchez, Emergency Management Deputy Director.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm here today to request the approval for a firework display permit submitted by Helm's Fireworks. Chris Helm of Helm's Fireworks has applied for a permit to conduct a firework display at Saline Speedway, located at 2841 South Burma Road, from October 3rd to October 5th between 7 p.m. and 12 a.m. each night. Mr. Helm has met all the necessary requirements, and both emergency management and the fire chief of Rural Fire District 6 have reviewed the application. We recommend approval as all conditions have been satisfied. The $200 permit fee has been paid and will be deposited into the Rural Fire District Communication Fund with no further impact on the county budget.
Okay. Any questions from the commission?
What, and just off the top of my head, it just hit me is that's in just a couple days here. And as dry as it's been, and if you would happen to put a burn ban in place in the next 2 days, I know it's not going to happen, but if you did, would they still be able to go ahead and do this?
So no, that would be up to the fire chief, and
Okay.
they would be able to get in contact with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
What's the point of having a fireworks display in October?
I think that's just to have a celebration at the Speedway, but yeah, that's what they requested.
3-day celebration?
And it says 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. Is that why such a wide time limit? I mean, I know they're not going to fire fireworks off from 7 p.m. to 12.
Hours. That's a
Yeah,
lot
that's
Yeah, so that's the time that they put between on their application. Obviously, it's probably not going to be firing that entire time frame, but I think that they just put that as a safe time frame just so they kind of have the opportunity to let it off a little later, a little earlier, depending on what time the Speedway races finish.
okay. Any public comment?
Norman Mandelson, that time frame concerns me. If they're going to allow that time frame that long, are they going to have fire department trucks out there to cover that for that many hours? Because embers can flare up. Like you said, we're having burn problems all over the country. As long as they got fire trucks on standby, that's going to cost money.
I guess that is a question I've got too. Is the rural fire going to be on scene from 7 until midnight?
So they won't be on scene, but they're aware of this, so they'll most likely be stationed, and they are volunteer firefighters, so.
Okay. Any more public comment? Okay, I'll bring it back to the commission for action, please.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve RFA 2024-139 as presented.
Second motion.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve RFA 2024-139. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Nay.
That passes 3-1.
Thank you.
Okay.
County Administrators, January 1st, 2025, employment agreement with Marilyn Leamer, Human Resources Director.
Good morning, Commissioners. This request is for consideration and approval of the County Administrator's January 1, 25 employment agreement. The term of the agreement is 15 months and includes a 3% salary adjustment. The alternatives for action is to approve the agreement, reject the agreement, or delay action for further information. Our recommendation is to approve and sign the agreement. The 2025 salary does represent a 3% increase over the 2024 salary, which was included in your budget preparation earlier this year.
I guess for public, the agreement's for 15 months. Why 15 months and not a 12-month contract?
This was at the request of the current county administrator for a 15-month time frame.
Okay.
And those 15 months begin the first of the year?
Right,
And go into 2026 then?
right. It would be March of 2026.
Okay, any more questions from the commission?
This is not saying we provide another 3%. This takes care of the full 15 months.
Right.
This 3%. It's not like
Correct.
another 3% at January 1 of 26.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, any public comment? Okay, I'll bring it back to commission for action, please.
Mr. Chairman, I move, excuse me, we approve RFA 2024-140 as presented.
Second the motion. Okay.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve RFA 2024-140 as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, and that passes 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
The county administrator's update with Philip Smith Haynes, County Administrator.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
So, a few things to update on this morning. First off, we have a road viewing that is scheduled for this Thursday morning. And that is in response to a petition that we received from Mr. Elliot Schrader for access to a landlocked parcel of property. We did receive notice this morning from Mr. Schrader's attorney that they are withdrawing that petition. So the road viewing will be canceled. We will not need to meet on Thursday for that road viewing. The second item was funding for the Silver-Haired Legislature. We did receive a request again. Commissioners may recall that last year we received a similar request, and you did authorize last year $300 out of the commission contingency. I wondered if you wanted to do that again, or higher amount, lower amount, nothing.
I have no problem with the 300. I think it's
have
good
no
to
problem with
have
300.
Okay, we'll go ahead and process that then. And then another thing that you spent money on out of your contingency last year, you may recall that you approved, and along with a number of other organizations in the community, a community strategic planning effort that the Salina Area Chamber of Commerce undertook. And so I just wanted to provide you an update on that and let you know that that process has concluded. And it did not result in a plan per se, but it did result in a recommendation that all the various agencies work together to try and better market Salina and Saline County to potential job applicants and folks who might want to move here. So the Chamber and the Salina Community Economic Development Organization have been pursuing that, trying to adjust funding to accommodate that kind of a plan. So I do have a report from the firm the Chamber forwarded. It's very short. If any commissioners would like a copy of that, I'd be happy to send that to you. And last, I just wanted to briefly mention that I am working with Symmetry Gas. You may recall that last year, previously, we've done multi-year agreements with them. Last year, we did a one-year agreement just because of the new jail. So far, I mean, obviously, we don't have a full year of usage history, but so far, the actual usage has been very close to what the architects estimated. But because it was a one-year agreement, it comes up at the end of the year. I will likely have something before you, hopefully next Tuesday, for your approval on that. And that's all I had for today, but I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Just a quick question, and this has to do with, I think, our payroll software we're using. And it's like, I just noticed here this last week or so that we had another issue that it wasn't working. And I think we've had multiple issues with that. Where are we at on that?
So not payroll software,
CIC or whatever.
because
Yeah.
we keep getting people paid every
Okay.
2 weeks. That has
I'm sorry.
There's never been an outage with that. There have been multiple outages with the timekeeping software. So that's
I'm
where
sorry.
people clock in and clock
Yeah,
out. That's a software called Time Clock Plus. It is related to CIC, which is our financial vendor. They have had a number of outages. This last outage was actually a good thing because the reason it was out is they took the time to install redundant internet at their location. So hopefully that will prevent some of the future outages. That was the cause of the last 2 or 3 outages before this, was that their internet had gone down. So we're hopeful that things get better, but we do go back and manually adjust time when the software is down. So
Okay. Thank you.
Commissioners' comments?
I just got one. I believe that on Monday, the 7th at 2:30, we've got that at the Chamber Annex. We get that facility planning over there.
yes.
That's a joint between the county and the city to go over there at 2:30 on the 7th.
Yes, so we'll get a notice out about that.
Okay.
I have a comment, or I don't know, what do you want to call it? I want to address or talk about addressing the tag office situation. We talk about it all the time, and I don't think people really realize that the tag office isn't under the control of the county commission. That's more or less the state situation. But we can help with staffing and so forth. I walked in the door this morning, there were 17 people in line to go into the tag office, not counting the 3 or 4 or 5 or however many were at a station inside. I think it's time for us to, we talk about it and we shake our head and we move on. Let's schedule some sort of a meeting with the treasurer's office and see what we can do to help. Some brainstorming of some sort. Do we need more room? Do we need more people? We all say that, but we don't do anything. I think it's time for us to try to help. But I would like to see either a study session or part of a meeting or a special meeting or even on the end of a meeting. This morning it's 9:30. We could certainly have it tagged onto the end of a meeting right now. But we need to see what we can do from our standpoint to help the situation.
So I'll just mention that the treasurer and I are meeting tomorrow morning to try and launch a campaign to help that, to better inform the public of the different options other than standing in line and scheduling appointments, paying online, etc. So we will pursue that avenue. I'm certainly not opposed to the idea of having the treasurer come and address the commission about other issues. We can look at scheduling that for a meeting later this month.
Well, I'm certainly okay. I'm happy to hear that we're going to do something about it. We being administration, and if that remedies the situation, you can come to us with a solution. I'm okay with that too. But let's get the ball rolling.
Announcements?
Well, I was just going to announce that there will be a special meeting next Monday, but the chairman kind of stole my thunder on that. Next Monday at 2:30, the space planning consultants will be back in town, and we will be having a special commission meeting over at the Chamber Annex.
Okay.
And I would like to make an announcement also that voter registration is, the last day to register to vote is coming up quickly. It is October 15th at 8 p.m. If you're from another county, that might be different in your location, but for Saline County, we will be open till 8 p.m. on October 15th. So check your registration and make sure you get it up to date.
Okay. Any other good for the cause? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay. We have a motion, and do we have a second? Second. To adjourn?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor say aye. Aye. All
Aye.
opposed? Passes 4-0. Thank you. We'll see you next week.